What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I want to talk about tonight's NFL draft, and then I also want to talk about the topic of does defense still win championships? But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content, hit that like button for your boy. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for continuing to tune in, continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you would like to follow your boy on Twitter, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. But with that being said, you're going to want to tune in tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be going live, Atlanta Falcons Nation. Me, Mad Mike, K-Styles, Miss Maggie T, Twisted Torch TV, the whole crew will be going live tonight, so you're definitely going to want to tune in. We will be going live, like I said, at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe the draft kicks off at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you're definitely going to want to be there. I'm very excited to see who the Falcons are going to pick with that fourth pick in the first round, or whether the Falcons are going to trade back. I'm really excited to see what we decide to do. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So if you've been watching my channel, unless you've been under a rock, you pretty much know I've been pushing Kyle Pitts as that fourth pick, that I really want Kyle Pitts to be the guy that we take with our Atlanta Falcons. I do believe a player like Kyle Pitts and the impact that he could have on our team, I do believe he gives us the best opportunity to get back in contention and possibly be a contender for the Super Bowl, whether it's this year or within the next 2 to 3 years. I really think that Kyle Pitts is the best player in this draft. I do believe he's the most impactful player that can come in day one and give our Falcons what we need to possibly get back to a Super Bowl. But what kind of sparked all of this, my interest, or sparked this conversation about does defense still win championships? I've been watching First Take, Get Up, ESPN, Fox Sports 1, and it's been a lot of different things being said about the Atlanta Falcons. Ryan Clark, I believe he was on Get Up, and he was talking about the reason the Falcons lost the Super Bowl was because they didn't have defense. They didn't play good defense down the stretch of that game in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. He basically stated that it would be dumb for the Falcons to take a guy like Kyle Pitts because we need defense. And he basically was stating that we will be living 28-3 all over again if we take another offensive piece or another offensive weapon. And I completely disagree with his argument. I'm a guy that likes to think outside the box. And that's another reason why I started my YouTube channel, because I don't go with the flow. I don't flow with the media. I don't go with what the majority say, what the majority says or believes. I don't believe in a lot of the narratives that are placed out there about Matt Ryan, about the Falcons not being able to finish. Personally, I completely, like I said, disagree with Ryan Clark's argument about why the Falcons shouldn't take Kyle Pitts, or why he believes the Falcons should go defense with the first round pick, or go quarterback with that first round pick. Personally, I think that a lot of people gloss over that Super Bowl, and they pretty much, place the blame on the defense. And I completely disagree. I really believe if the Falcons would have just ran out the clock, if we had better coaching, the Falcons would have won the Super Bowl. We had the game won. It wasn't all on the defense. It takes a team to win a Super Bowl. We consistently say this. I consistently say this on my channel. You can't win a Super Bowl just with a great defense. You can't win a Super Bowl just with a great offense. Every part of your team has to play well. You have to have a defense that plays well. You have to have an offense that does their job and they play well. You have to have a special teams that play well. And you have to have consistent coaching, good coaching. If you don't have all three phases or all four phases, including the coaches, do their job, you won't be able to win a Super Bowl. And personally, I believe that there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. I do believe that there's multiple paths to a Super Bowl. And in 2016, the Falcons proved that you don't have to have a great defense to win a Super Bowl. If the Falcons would have just kicked the field goal after Julio Jones made that catch on the sideline, we would have easily won that Super Bowl. But we decided to pass the ball. Matt Ryan got sacked. And then the Patriots went down and scored. The game went into overtime, and we all know what happened. So personally, there was mistakes made on both sides of the ball. Devontae Freeman missing a key block on Dante Hightower, where Matt Ryan was sacked in a strip sack fumble. It was a number of plays in that game that could have turned the game, in the Falcons' favor or in the Patriots' favor. Robert Alford dropped the interception. So it was a lot of different things that took place in that game, because Robert Alford also in that Super Bowl had a pick six. So a lot of people don't talk about that. Another thing a lot of people don't talk about is Grady Jarrett had, I believe, 2.5 to 3 sacks in the Super Bowl. So the misnomer or the misconception that the Falcons defense played terrible in the Super Bowl isn't true. They didn't play well in the second half, and I believe that had to do with, the energy, them being on the field, a very long time. A lot of different things played into the Patriots being able to come back and win that Super Bowl. So I really feel like when Ryan Clark and when different people talk about the Super Bowl now, because it's been a couple years, all they do is they put all the blame on the defense, but they forget about Kyle Shanahan's bad play calling. They forget about Dan Quinn not taking the reins and basically draining the clock and basically kicking the field goal and putting the game out of reach. And they forget about all of those key plays that happened during the Super Bowl, like the Julian Edelman catch between 3 guys, just all of the different things that happened and all of the momentum. And that's why I say not only does it take a good offense, not only does it take a good defense, not only does it take a good special teams, and not only does it take great coaching to win a Super Bowl, but it takes a little bit of luck as well, because we've seen last year Kansas City just had bad luck in the AFC Championship game with both their right and left tackle getting injured. A lot of people don't talk about the Chiefs played Tampa Bay earlier in the season at Tampa Bay, where the Super Bowl was played, and the Chiefs beat them, wiped the field with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on that same field. So, like I said, it takes all 3 or all 4 phases, and it takes a little bit of luck to win a Super Bowl. But to stay on track of talking about, does defense win championships, or does defense still win championships? Personally, I think that that's a misconception. I do believe that balance wins Super Bowls, or balance wins championships. I believe that we need to change that narrative of defense wins championships, because I can show you teams that consistently have dominant defenses that never won a championship, or that only won one championship. The number one franchise I can point to when it comes to having great defense, they're known for having great defense, is the Chicago Bears. My family are diehard Bears fans. My family's from Chicago, so my dad, my mom, all of my brothers for the most part, my sister, they're all Chicago Bears fans. They always have a solid defense. They always have a dominant defense. When Brian Urlacher was there, Lance Briggs, they went to the Super Bowl against the Indianapolis Colts, who had a lesser defense, but they had a high-powered offense. The Bears lost that Super Bowl against the Indianapolis Colts and Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, and those guys, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark. They lost that Super Bowl. Joseph Adai, if you remember, at running back. So personally, I don't agree with the narrative of defense. Only having a great defense wins you a championship. Personally, I think that it can go both ways. If you have a great defense, you have to have at least a middle of the pack offense. You have to have at least a middle of the pack special teams, and you have to have good coaching. If you have a great offense like the Falcons with the current weapons that we have, we proved in 2016, we had a great offense, a great play caller, and we had a defense that was mediocre. They got stops. They got interceptions and turnovers at key moments in games, and we were a balanced team. We had great special teams. We had great coaching until the Super Bowl. So personally, the misnomer or the misconception that the Falcons getting a guy like Kyle Pitts or adding on to a great offense and having a great offense can't win a championship, I completely disagree. The Falcons, if we would have did what we supposed to do, if the coaches would have coached, played complimentary football, the Falcons should have been champions in 2016. I don't believe that the Falcons lost that Super Bowl mainly because of we didn't have a dominant defense. We lost the Super Bowl because all four phases, coaching, offense, defense, special teams, players didn't make plays at key moments. And it takes a team to win a championship. So I'm putting away the misnomer of defense wins championships because I really feel like in today's NFL, if you look at the way that the rules are skewed towards the offense, because they want, entertainment and they want the offenses to be able to put up points. We've seen just in the last Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chiefs, how many penalties they were calling against the Chiefs when the offense of the Patriots, when the offense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was on the field when they were driving down the field in that second quarter. They basically took the game out of the Kansas City Chiefs' hands, out of the defense hands. They were calling a lot of penalties. They weren't allowing the defense to play, they weren't allowing the offense or the defense to play. They pretty much were giving the Buccaneers the game on the offensive side of the ball. They were calling a lot of penalties for Tom Brady, and they pretty much gave them penalties up and down the field where it was a lopsided game when it came to the penalties. So I really feel like the misnomer or the misconception of defense wins championships, I completely disagree. I do believe earlier, back in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, earlier in the NFL, earlier generations and earlier, decades ago, I do believe that defense did win championships, and having great defenses because the rules were more balanced on both sides of the ball. Having a great defense, you had a great chance to win the Super Bowl. But nowadays, if you look at the way that the game is set up and the rules are set up, if you have a great offense, you only need a middle of the pack defense, and a defense that gets timely stops, a defense that gets turnovers. You can win a Super Bowl that way. And I feel like that's the way that the Falcons can get back to a Super Bowl and possibly win a Super Bowl, is by having that same blueprint that we had in 2016. But this time we just have to finish it off by smart coaching. When you have the plays there to be made, you have to make the play. Whether it's on offense, whether it's on defense, whether it's on special teams, you have to make plays when the plays are there to be made. And I really feel like that was the main reason the Falcons lost the Super Bowl in 2016. So jumping to, 2021 and talking about now, I believe you go out, you draft a guy like Kyle Pitts, immediately he adds more explosiveness to this offense. He makes our offense pretty much unstoppable. Meaning, on the defensive side of the ball, you only have to be middle of the pack, 15th, 16th, above the 20th ranked defense in the league. If you're above 20 and you have a defense that gets turnovers, because I believe in 2016 we went to the Super Bowl, we were like the 26th to 27th ranked defense overall. So that pretty much proves right there. And we were winning the game 28-3 against the Patriots, who had a top 10 defense that year. So that just goes to show you, with a high-powered offense and a balanced team, because you can balance it out by having a middle-of-the-pack defense, a middle-of-the-pack special teams, great coaching, you can win a championship. So I'm tired of hearing the Falcons can't win a championship because of the defense. You can win a championship with a great offense and a mediocre or a middle-of-the-pack defense. You don't have to have the 2000 Ravens on defense. You don't have to have the 85 Bears on defense to win a championship. The Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and they were back in the Super Bowl last year. The Kansas City Chiefs don't have a historically great defense. They have a middle-of-the-pack defense, a defense that gets turnovers and gets timely stops. The Kansas City Chiefs don't have great playmakers on their defense on every level. If you look at the linebackers, you can't name any of those guys on the in that linebacking core. You can't name any of the secondary guys other than the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. You can't name the corners that play for the Kansas City Chiefs on that Super Bowl roster or even on the roster last year. They don't have great corners. They only have a couple of guys sprinkled in, a couple playmakers sprinkled in on that defense. You have Frank Clark on the edge, who's a great edge rusher. You have Chris Jones at the defensive tackle position. He's one of the better defensive tackles in the game. And you have Tyrann Mathieu. Those are their three stars on the defensive side of the ball. Those are their three playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. For the Falcons, we pretty much have the same exact thing. Our stars are Deion Jones, Foye Oluokun, Grady Jarrett, and I believe that AJ Terrell is a budding star. He could be a guy that could be a Pro Bowl corner. So if the Falcons can go out in this draft and select a safety that's a playmaker, like a Andre Cisco, like a Trevon Merrick, like a Richie Grant, if they can go out and get one of these guys that can come in and get timely turnovers and can get interceptions at key moments, the Falcons can be right back in contention. So if you want to keep saying that same cliche, defense wins championships, personally, I believe that balance is what wins championships. It's more ways, it's more paths to a Super Bowl other than having a great defense. So I really feel like as long as the Falcons can have a middle of the pack defense this year, and as long as the Falcons can still put up at least 30 points in a game, 25 to 30 points a game with a high power offense, we proved in 2016 that you can get to a Super Bowl. We went 11-5 in 2016. And I believe this team, if we do draft a guy like Kyle Pitts, we could easily be back in Super Bowl contention and be contenders for this year's Super Bowl and for the next couple years. As long as we have Matt Ryan playing at a high level, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst, and all of these, the boatload of guys that we have on this offensive side of the ball, and with great play calling from a guy like Arthur Smith and great defensive play calling and defensive scheming by a guy like Dean Pease, I really feel like this Atlanta Falcons team can be special. So with that being said, you guys let me know what you think of the defense. Let me know what you think of the defense. Let me know what you think of the video. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. Definitely want to tune in tonight, AFN. We will be going live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The draft will kick off at 8. But with that being said, this has been your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. And as always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.